Welcome to Chanakya, where you get the right guidance at the right time. Hi, I'm Srini, and I have with me two expert coaches, Anant and Vishu, with me today on the show. Welcome to the show, Anant and Vishu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srini.
Okay, I have a situation here today from Lakshman, one I think many a manager faces in his career. Lakshman, the PM, is a sensitive, non-confrontational person. He tries to avoid any confrontation and does not want his team members to get into any confrontation or heated debates. In his current project, there is a constant tussle between the on-site lead Ravi and the offshore tech lead Shashi, which Lakshman finds it extremely hard to swallow. Ravi is a very outspoken, ambitious person, sometimes tends to overcommit to customers without thinking of the feasibility of the solution. On the other hand, Shashi is a conservative, soft-spoken perfectionist. Ravi and Shashi get into conflicts often because of their personalities and different perspectives, and emotions flare up. Lakshman gets worried about these negative emotions and tries to diffuse the situation by avoiding any discussion with them. Because of this, many issues are unresolved and have started piling up, impacting both the project and the customer. Anant, as a coach, have you come across such situations?
Yeah, I think for one thing, Lakshman can take a lot of comfort in the fact that this is absolutely normal. Many have faced similar situations. I think, just given his nature, right, he finds it difficult to face conflicts, and first-time managers find it even more difficult. But it would be wishful thinking if he thinks conflicts will just go away, get resolved by themselves, right? So he's got to find ways to face them and resolve them.
So why do they not like it, and why do PMs like Lakshman try to avoid conflict?
I think it goes back to Lakshman's nature, right? As I was mentioning earlier, I think conflicts upset Lakshman emotionally. Right? It's like someone has suddenly put a huge weight on his, mind, right? And he would like to do whatever he can to avoid that. And emotions are very, very powerful. Right? So he's going to find that even if he knows that it is healthy to have conflicts, he's going to try all his best to avoid them. Right? And he ends up, just for his that temporary mental comfort, right? That emotional comfort that he's got, he avoids conflicts, right? He would not want to see them, and even if it is not so good for the project or not good for the team.
So interesting. Did I take away from you, conflict is just a manifestation of his hatred for negative emotions? Is that what is right?
Yeah, I think it's the problem is not so much in the outside in the conflict, it's actually in his mind.
Okay. So why is that, Vishu?
Yeah, actually, in my observation, in our upbringing, education, even in corporates, there is so much focus on IQ. And we are missing in the focus on developmental areas on the emotional intelligence side, which is about dealing with one's own emotions and dealing with emotions of other people. This is a big area where, because people are not developed sufficiently, they don't know how to deal with their own emotions as well as emotions of other people. They tend to avoid that because they don't know how to deal with that.
More so in India, isn't it? I mean,
it's
in our system, right?
Especially.
Yeah. I don't ever remember taking an exam on emotions.
I had one on psychology, but I don't know about emotions. Right? Anyway, coming back. So you are saying there's a long underlying dominant theme here, Vishu. Anand, that is great. But now how does poor Lakshman handle the current situation between Ravi and Shashi? Can you give him some practical things that he could do?
Okay, firstly I can tell you something that he should not do. I think he shouldn't be discouraging, right? If he's trying to keep, Ravi and Shashi apart and discourage discussions, that's not going to be very healthy, right? I think lack of communication among team members is going to eventually cause project issues, and it's also going to create an environment of distrust within the team, right? If that is seen as a solution. I think Lakshman should look at two things. One is figure out how to manage his emotions, At the same time, understand people as well. So he needs to look at both sides. Yeah.
Okay. Now, interesting. So, I thought the problem was between Ravi and Shashi. Now, you are saying Lakshman has to manage his own emotions first.
Yeah.
Why is that getting important issue in this context?
Yes. In fact, managing oneself before even managing situations and people outside is the most important part. Because if I don't know how to deal with my own emotions, I can spoil the situations. For example, if I try to deal with Ravi and Shashi and the situations, and if I am not balanced, I myself will add to that confusions. So it becomes extremely important that I should manage myself first before I can manage people and situations outside.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, in fact, I probably had a situation recently in my family where two people whom I like had a conflict, and I think I had to stay out and do it. So I understand what you're saying.
In fact, in my own experience, I have seen that if there is a conflict between two people and I try to jump in and resolve that conflict, instead of the two-way conflict, I can make it a three-way conflict actually.
Make it a bit more interesting.
Yes, I become another point of the problem actually.
Like World War III now.
Yes.
Okay, let me assume that Lakshman decides now to overcome his emotions for a brief while, and he decides to bring Ravi and Shashi to the same table. What happens suddenly if Ravi and Shashi decide to get into loggerheads, Anand? I mean, he keeps himself quiet, but how does he handle now Ravi and Shashi getting into loggerheads? What does he do?
Yeah, I think he's won half the battle, right? If he stays calm, just taking cue from what Vishu was saying. Once he's calm, he can observe better, he can listen better. Right? His whole awareness of the situation actually, improves dramatically. Once in that state, now he can actually look at the situation objectively. He'll be able to ask questions and to help resolve the situation. But the most important thing is he's got to stay non-judgmental, right? If he starts mentally thinking, hey Ravi, always like this, totally heartless, right? And starts thinking Shashi is always this perfectionist, he's never going to complete anything, right, on time. If he starts judging, I think it's going to be difficult for him. If he suspends judgment, he's going to be able to find himself in a better place to handle the situation.
Okay. I'm sure this is not going to be easy for somebody like Lakshman to overcome his fears and inhibitions in one shot, even though he might handle the current situation based on all the inputs you gave. Anything that Lakshman could do in the long haul?
Yeah. In fact, working on oneself is the hardest because we all want to fix the others. That's the easy part. But what needs to be fixed is within ourselves actually first. That's why it's a very premium skill. So whoever can do that, they become the leaders. So there are many avenues. There are good body of knowledge and programs on emotional intelligence, so which could help him develop this dimension. There are programs on mindfulness, which help to develop, enhance his own awareness and awareness of other people's emotions. So these are good things for him to develop. But the most important point is that Lakshman has to face situations and people, he cannot avoid. He has to face that and apply the learnings, only then the transformation happens, otherwise they will remain theory. I can tell from my own personal experience that such personal evolutions are highly rewarding and very joyful as well.
Okay. There's been some great insights from both of you, Anand and Vishu, very different, even some key takeaways for me as well. Let me summarize what I picked up from you for the benefit of Lakshman once more, right? I think the first thing, Lakshman, you must have heard is the fact that this situation is not unique. You are not alone. Many of us are in it, right? Next thing is, if you want to manage the external situation better, first get control of your own emotions. You are the master of yourself. Once you are aware of your emotions, stop being judgmental about others. It helps you to see the way they are. Finally, there is a whole body of knowledge available with respect to emotional intelligence, mindfulness, which can help you shape up to be a great leader in the future. I am sure many people like you will benefit from this session with Anant and Vishu. Thank you, Anant and Vishu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, viewers, for watching us today.